haven't heard of PSSD, no.
Do you even know what it is?
I have no idea what it is.
If this is what my life is going to be like for the rest of my life, I probably won't be alive that much longer.
I'm not myself. It guts me every second of every day. It doesn't. Never imagined something so hard.
Not being a sexual person for the rest of my life and not being attracted.
This isn't even possible. This is not reality.
Yeah.
Can't accept it. Surely this is not real.
Nothing really excites me, nothing makes me upset, nothing makes me happy anymore.
See, I knew I wasn't going back to normal beyond a certain point. After a year or more, I knew that I was not going back to normal, and I would never wake up out of this nightmare ever again.
Yeah.
Just don't just take your doctor's word as gospel.
The main reason we're doing this documentary and the reason why we are here, my friend Paul, is to discover what PSSD is and find out more about it. Ain't that right, Paul?
Yes, that's right. We also want to find out more about the sufferers of this condition. They were given medication which they were led to believe would make them better. It's actually damaged them. There were side effects that have made their lives actually worse, and they weren't made aware of this.
So what is post-SSRI sexual dysfunction? Well, it's a nitrogenic condition which can arise following antidepressant use, in which sexual function does not completely return to normal after the discontinuation of SSRIs, SNRIs, and some tricyclic antidepressants. Some people develop sexual side effects on antidepressants which either remain in full or don't resolve completely when a drug is stopped. For others, the condition only appears when they actually stop the medication or begin to reduce the dosage. PSSD affects both men and women. It can happen after only a few days' exposure to an antidepressant and can persist for months, years, or indefinitely. There is no known cure.
What are we doing here today?
Well, we're here to interview people and ask them if they've heard about PSSD and to create some awareness about PSSD.
Okay, let's go.
Do you know what PSSD is?
PSS.
PSSD.
PSSD, no, I'm afraid no.
It stands for post-SSRI sexual-dysfunction.
Okay.
Which is from the antidepressants people are given in mental
really?
health.
Okay.
And it's a sexual dysfunction, but it's a sexual dysfunction where the side effect continues even when people stop taking the medications.
Okay, for how long?
It can continue indefinitely for years,
or
indefinitely till the day they die. And you haven't heard of it?
No, no, I haven't.
Do you know what PSSD is?
No.
Have you ever heard of PSSD?
I have not.
Have you ever heard of PSSD before?
No, I haven't.
Have you heard of PSSD before?
PSSD? No, I haven't, sorry.
Have you heard of PSSD before?
I've not, no.
Have you ever heard of PSSD before?
No, I haven't.
And now I'm going to be interviewing Curtis from the US in North Carolina. He's a PSSD victim, and he agreed to be interviewed on Skype. Hey Curtis, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Everything good.
Basically, since age like 15 or 16, I've struggled with, I would say, depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
Things of that nature, just focusing on the past, ruminating a lot of rumination, just being really anxious. And I've gone to therapy at several different points throughout my life. Never took medication for it though. And I just decided when I moved up to New York in June of 2016. I don't know what it was, but it just living in New York just kind of ratcheted up my anxiety for some reason. I just felt really anxious all the time, depressed. So that's when I decided to look into medication.
Yeah.
It was around August of 2016. I went to a doctor and said, hey, just have a lot of depression, I have a lot of anxiety. I'd like to try antidepressants. And so she recommended that I try SSRIs. Typically, that's the first type of antidepressant that you'll be prescribed. It's the most commonly prescribed antidepressant, at least in the US. So I was prescribed a drug called fluoxetine, which is essentially the generic version of Prozac. I think I was prescribed 20 milligram pills. So started taking that, and I knew prior to taking it that one of the side effects of the drug is, reduce libido and reduce sexual functioning. And the day after I took my first pill, I experienced reduced libido and reduced sexual functioning. I couldn't even get an erection, and I just didn't have a sex drive. But I was okay with that, because the medicine, it had a positive effect on my mind. I felt less anxious. My mind felt less inundated with worries and focuses on the past. So I took I took fluoxetine for a few months, and around January I decided that I wanted to stop taking it because I was trying to date, and it just wasn't really. If you have no sex drive, it's kind of hard to date, because that's kind of an intrinsic part of romance and attraction.
Yeah.
So I stopped taking it.
Advice be for other people if they're about
For other people.
taking medication or about to take the same medication.
Same medication. Don't. There's just the risks. The risks at this point severely outweigh the benefits.
Yeah.
And what I would also say is don't just take your doctor's word as gospel.
Yeah.
Would I agree to taking this medication that I know that it could very well have long-lasting or permanent side effects?
Yes.
No.
So how do you feel after all this time? How do you feel?
How do I feel? Pretty terrible.
Yeah.
I think I grapple with the concept of not being a sexual person for the rest of my life and not being attracted to people, and outside of sexuality, I can't really have a romantic life because I just don't feel that attachment, and I don't feel a sense of attachment to my friends and family anymore.
Yeah.
My emotional spectrum is just narrowed to where I'm just kind of middling. Nothing really excites me. Nothing makes me upset. Nothing makes me happy anymore. So if this is what my life is going to be like for the rest of my life, I probably won't be alive that much longer.
So, I want you to tell me a bit about your story with PSSD.
Well, I was 9 years old when I was given mental health drugs, and my parents were not informed that the drugs could cause permanent sexual dysfunction that I'd have to live with forever for the rest of my life, and the sexual dysfunction has not gone away, and I can't fully feel myself in between my legs. There is no normal sensation or arousal, and it's absolutely devastating every single day of my life since. No one's got in trouble. They still doesn't say on the leaflets that it can do this. There's been no apology, no recognition, nothing. The effects have not changed at all. There were some other damages that went away. It's absolutely changed me. My personality, being around people, is really torturous. I'm not myself. It guts me every second of every day. It doesn't. Never imagined something so hard. Am completely on my own and was completely on my own. No one has acknowledged it. It's been completely harrowing. No one cares, and the repercussions has been for me to bear alone, not anybody else who hid my basic right to choice.
Do you ever feel weird? You got a feel inside, but you just don't know what it is. When the stars align